What is the first thing people should review when they're thinking about their finances headed into 2025?
Yeah, well, happy holidays to everyone. Listen, you need to go back and review your bank and credit card statements. And I know people are, especially now that the Christmas is over, people are like,
They're maybe afraid to do that. Yes, exactly.
you can't be afraid to do it. I look at it as when you're driving, there's a rear view mirror and you're going to look back, but you also need to look forward. But you still need to keep an eye on what happened or what's happening behind you. And lots of people don't want to face their financial truth. Like you'll say, oh, I don't really spend that much. And you actually do. So spend this next couple days before the new year just looking back to see how you spent and where you want to make some changes.
Yeah, it's a good time to maybe be a little honest with yourself there. I also learned that according to the Federal Trade Commission, identity theft numbers, they received over 141,000 reports of identity theft in 2024. And the most common type is credit card theft. And that does require you, to your point, really looking at your statement and knowing if you spent this or were at this place or not. They're counting on people probably not really checking.
That's exactly true. I get emails all the time from someone that says, you know what, I hadn't looked, and then all of a sudden I had all these charges. I put alerts on all of my cards. So the moment something hits my card, it dings me. Drives my husband crazy, actually, because he'll spend like $10. And I'm like, honey, did you spend $10? He's like, how did you know that? I just went
right
to
the phone.
Right. So you want to put those alerts. And the other thing you want to do is really look and see if you've got strong passwords, if you have set up, a system so that if something happens, they'll either text you or email you so you know what's going on. A lot of you watching are reusing your passwords especially for your financial accounts. You want to be careful about that. Data breaches are so big now. And, a lot of our information is out there already, but let's try to do what you can to prevent your information from getting into the wrong hands by making sure that your accounts have strong passwords and that you have set up a system where they can contact you if something happens. And all of your financial accounts, they'll ding you, set this up, and you've not done that this year. So do this for the last couple of days of the year.
Yeah, really protect yourself and at least make it harder for these people to steal your information. I also want to ask you about retirement accounts. According to Fidelity, hardship withdrawals on these retirement accounts have been on the rise for the past 5 years. In 2023, 6.9% of people with a retirement plan withdrew money for a financial hardship. So how do you recommend people maybe proactively maintain that account and help themselves avoid dipping into it? Obviously, there are emergencies that happen in life.
Yeah, we've had a tough time these last couple of years with inflation, and people feel they have no other choice, and I get that. But some people, you may not need to do that if you have a handle on the rest of your money. Setting up an emergency fund, setting up what I call a life happens fund, which is separate from the emergency fund. That's when life happens. Your dishwasher breaks, your dog does something it shouldn't do, chews up a cord that you need to replace.
We've all been there.
Those kinds of things. I know. And if you got kids, they're going to break something. So you want to have a different account so that you don't touch. I think of emergency fund is that dire fund, like you lose your job or say you get sick and you've got to pull from that. And so one of the ways to do that is that look at how you're saving for your retirement and think of that as no touch protected money, because we know that you're going to need that money in retirement. So, I really try to encourage people not to touch that money when you change jobs. Don't cash out that money.